Thanks for joining us. I'm part of Southern Indiana Now. We've got a great episode lined up for you. Of course, you can find us on all the places that you can get a podcast. That's, of course, Apple, iHeart, YouTube, our website, southernindiananow.com, Spotify, all the places. We'll make sure you're staying connected to us at Southern Indiana Now. We have 4 segments, and we're going to dive into each of them. And the first one we're going to talk with is under our Hoosier Homestead segment, which is all about our culture, heritage, different things that we're doing that's unique in Southern Indiana, and how you can get connected with that. And today we're talking with Chelsea Parr. She's with our Hospice of Southern Indiana, and we're excited to have her as part of our show, because our show today is focusing on best practices for life and beyond, what that looks like and how you can get connected with those resources. And Chelsea, thanks so much for joining us today, and excited to talk with you about our hospice in Southern Indiana. Tell me about exactly what it is, because someone may have some misconceptions. They may not understand some more up-to-date definitions.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thank you. It's such an honor to be here and talking with everybody about a topic that's not always comfortable to talk about or easy, or maybe, like you said, has a lot of misconceptions. So hospice care is for anybody that is no longer desiring curative treatment, whatever they may be facing. And that can be at any age. And that's, again, one of those misconceptions, is that hospice may be for only those of advanced age. And it can really be for anybody, depending on where they are in their journey with health and depending on what their goals are. So with hospice care, we just want to provide comfort as we approach and focus on quality of life or end of life.
All right. So tell me about some of those positive stories, those different unique moments that you've been able to work with patients or clients.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. The stories, there are so many. And that's the great thing about hospice, is we get to do a lot of great things to make every moment count for those that we're serving. And those can be both small and big. Some of the big ones that I have really looked forward to or have been a part of are when we get to honor those kind of final wishes. For example, last fall, I worked with a patient that desired to attend the Eldora race one more time. And for those that are in the communities where dirt racing is a huge thing, you kind of know how important that is. And so I worked with a local Corvette club, Southern Indiana Corvette, and they were able to sponsor the funds for him to be able to go to that race. The fun part is that Tony Stewart, the NASCAR driver, actually owns that track. And so when he heard what we were doing and what we were putting forward, he decided to kind of help us out. And not only did he make sure that our patient had a great time, but he also let him into his own private suite there at the track.
Wow.
So our patient got a really great experience. I've also, again, been able to work with patients that desire, just the smaller things, like to go fishing one more time, or, maybe it's around the holidays and we're not really sure what the holidays are going to look like. So we move Christmas up and we make Christmas happen in October. And we bring Santa out, or reindeer, or things like that really bring the magic in a time where it can be dark.
Yeah, I love that. Well, tell me some other things that you want to make sure people know so they can get connected to our Hospice of Southern Indiana.
Yeah, and with any hospice organization, you want to look for what's going to meet your needs. With our Hospice of South Central Indiana, we cover over 22 counties, and it seems like we're always growing. And our goal is to kind of meet you with what you're needing. And maybe you're not ready for hospice care. Maybe you want to talk about palliative care or other options where you can still receive some curative measures. That's a discussion that's always available to you, no matter what community you're in. In the same way with our hospice, is we're able to provide a certain set of things, but maybe those don't fit your needs. We're happy to help you find the organization that does. So that you can receive the comfort and quality care, whether that's in your home, at a facility, or whatever that might look like for you.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to keep it right here on Southern Indiana Now. We'll talk more as we go throughout.
Hey, thanks for having us Travis with you along right now in Southern Indiana now. We're so excited to have Daniel Springer with us. And, of course, Daniel Springer is actually located in Orange County, and we're so excited that he could be part of the podcast today. And, Daniel, tell everybody first where you're located, the office that you are with, and then the area that you serve.
Sure. So my name is Daniel Springer, owner of Springer Insurance, and we have multiple locations. I primarily sit in Orleans, Indiana, but we do have locations across southern Indiana to serve this entire area.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you could be part of our show today. Want to make sure that people have all the right things in the buckets when it comes to planning, life planning. These are things we don't enjoy talking about, but it's good to make sure people have checked off the list. So what are some things that people need to be doing right now in regards to life insurance, Daniel?
It's simple. They just need to get it. You know, the truth is we are getting older every day. As we age, most of the time our health is not improving. So as we continue to just kick that ball down the road, the situation happens where you have that stroke, you have a heart attack, you have a car accident that now you're on a lot of medication where you could have got life insurance very easy before those situations happen. Now that after that situation has happened, it might be impossible or a lot more expensive. So the simple thing is just to go ahead and get it right now while you're young, healthy, while you're able to get it.
So for those people that don't have life insurance, it's affordable, right? I mean, there's all sorts of options available. What goes into finding out what people need and what do they need to have ready for you, Daniel?
It is not a one-answer-fits-all. It is 100% what is your goals with life insurance? Is it something that you want just for the next 15 years or 20 years or 30 years while you have a mortgage? And then after that, you're not worried about this anymore? Is this something that no matter what age you pass away, you want to make sure you're taking care of your family, whether a debt or estate planning or just making sure that you're able to give all your assets to your family instead of having to give that back to the government? There's a lot of things that go into this, whether it's a simple $20,000 policy to make sure you're protected and ready for final need, or if it's a multi-million-dollar policy for estate planning. There's all kinds of different types of products, whether it's a permanent policy that's locked in for the rest of your life, no changes will happen, or if it's just nothing more than a 10-year term while you still have a home mortgage. There's a lot of questions you need to ask yourself, but as far as affordability, yes, I mean, we can get something very affordable to fit your needs.
We know those needs change. That's why we want to make sure that you're connected with Springer and Springer Insurance. Check out all their locations serving Southern Indiana. Daniel, what is the best way people can reach you?
Just call my office, 812-865-3133. Then myself or somebody on my team can help you out.
We'll be back on Southern Indiana Now. I'm Kelly Trask.
Next up on Hoosier Happenings, we are here with Chelsea Parr with North Vernon Main Street. North Vernon is located in Jennings County. So if you're listening to us at Southern Indiana Now, you'll know exactly where that is, and you can definitely get connected with all the things happening. She has all the answers. We're going to talk to her real quick, and she's going to give us a rundown of all the good stuff happening in Southern Indiana. Chelsea, thanks so much for joining us today, and let's talk about some of the big events and some of the things around the corner for North Vernon Main Street.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to come today and talk about some of the things that are right on the corner of coming up. For example, our 5K, our Color Your Town 5K registration just opened this week. The race is going to be on April 12th at 6 p.m. In North Vernon. So that's kind of our kickoff for the spring and summer events as they move forward. But some of the big events we're planning, and we'd really like to see the community come out and shine for, is our Main Street Live events. May 24th is our first Main Street Live. It's a Saturday of Memorial Weekend. It's our 500 edition. So lots of special things in the works, and we're definitely looking for not only people to come out and join us and have a good time, but any vendors, whether that be food or items that you'd like to, that you're curating at home that you would like to sell, things like that. We're always looking for that to add to those that come out and the experience that they have. We'll also have more of the Main Street Live events to come out in late July and late September. And The lineup I heard is quite impressive. I know they haven't announced it yet, but I know people are going to be excited.
We're going to hear it here first, hopefully. We'll get you connected. So how can people stay connected with you online, or where can they find out more and calendar events and so forth?
Yeah, absolutely. I encourage you to check us out on socials through North Vernon Main Street on Facebook. And if you're looking to get involved, maybe you want to volunteer with one of our events or be a part of the committee, or maybe you just need a little bit more information about what lies ahead, definitely welcome to reach out to Autumn Moore, our director over at Main Street. She's at director@northvernonmainstreet.org. She'd love to get you connected with us and help out in any way.
Yeah, I love it. Definitely, Chelsea, are there some other events and things you want to make sure that people have, or things that they need to know about North Vernon Main Street?
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking for anybody that wants to get involved, whether that's you grew up in North Vernon or you work in North Vernon or that community holds a special place in your heart. We're always looking for people to kind of join as we continue to grow and expand. If you're looking to maybe start a brick and mortar business, we'd love to see you in downtown North Vernon. It's growing quite a bit, and we've got some great businesses down there. So again, please feel free to reach out to Autumn. We'd love to get you connected.
All right. We're excited to have Brandon Hensley with us from the Jackson County Bank Trust Fund, and we're excited to talk with him about ways that you can create a legacy for after you're gone. If you want to create some things, ways to give back to your family, your community, this is the guy we need to talk to today. So we're going to be speaking with Brandon this morning. And also, if you are thinking about setting a scholarship up in a loved one's name, different ways to connect with that, Brandon's our guy. So let's talk to Brandon right here. And Brandon, tell us a little bit about what you do and how you see that benefit the community.
Yes. Well, thanks for having me. I currently work for Jackson County Bank as a trust officer. So one of my responsibilities is to administer the Greater Seymour Trust Fund. Jackson County Bank is the trustee. They've been the trustee of this scholarship fund or this trust fund for the last 55 years. So it was established in June of 1969 by Mr. Albert Welch. And what that does is provide grants and scholarships to the community to provide for the cultural, scientific, literary, and educational needs of the community. So it's been very impactful over the years. I've been affiliated with the bank now for 19 years. And during my tenure there, this is one of my largest responsibilities annually is to oversee the scholarship process and the grants from the trust fund itself. I also work with individuals, talk to them about their legacy planning, open new funds on behalf of the trust, and administer those on an ongoing basis.
I love that. So tell me a little bit about, so if someone's listening to this show and they could be listening to it from a different state, they could be listening to it somewhere in Southern Indiana. How is it that if they're thinking about planning their will or some different things, what are the parameters? Is there a minimum amount to set up the trust, so to speak, or maybe a scholarship in their name or something along those lines? What are some things that they need to be thinking about as they're getting that created?
Yeah, and the nice thing about the Greater Seymour Trust Fund is it's already an established charitable trust. So there's no need to go out and do your own legal paperwork, draft a will, create your own trust. We've already got one created for that purpose. So as long as you've got that charitable intent and you're willing to open in a fund, the minimum is $10,000 to have a fund in your own name or in somebody else's own name. But yeah, once you have that, we will provide you with a letter of direction and get some details on exactly what it is you want your fund to accomplish, who you want that to benefit. It does have to be charitable in nature. So typically we either have grant funds or scholarship funds, or you can have a combination of the two, what we call a hybrid fund. So you could have for instance, a $50,000 fund that provides maybe half the monies annually to scholarships, and then the other half could benefit several charities that you may name. And this would go on in perpetuity as long as the trust fund was earning monies. And we've got a duty to distribute about 5% of the trust fund balance every year. So every fund within the Greater Seymour Trust Fund, we've currently got 57, but all of them have to distribute monies on some level annually.
Okay, so do you have to be from the Jackson County area to set up a fund in Jackson County?
No, we've expanded this trust fund greatly, so it is more of a regional trust fund now. So we've got funds that affect the entire state of Indiana. We've got grant funds that are set up to benefit charities across the country, and we get direction from individuals within certain families to do that. So they've got a lot of flexibility just in terms of what they can do with their monies. But as long as the monies go to another 501c3 or qualified charity, you can distribute monies to anybody you'd like. And then when it comes to any of the scholarships themselves have to go for the benefit of the student and the school. So
I love
that's
that.
one of our criteria.
Well, speaking of, since you're on this segment, who's your good news? So this is a lot of good news because I'm sure you're able to see these dollars do so many things for people. Can we talk about that? Maybe some of the stories that you've seen or lives that have been changed for someone that did some extra planning.
Yeah, we work with quite a few people over the years that have decided to make Greater Seymour Trust Fund a part of their estate plan. And what they would typically do is either name the Greater Seymour Trust Fund in their will as a specific bequest. So maybe there's a particular fund they want to see benefit from their estate where they give X amount of dollars to an existing fund. We've got some that have set up their own fund and have created that with language in their will. And usually we're talking with them ahead of this process and helping them get the proper language in there. So when the time does come, we can transition those dollars from the estate directly to the trust fund and set things up the way they would want to see them accomplished. And it's the same for a trust. If you've got a trust, you can also name Greater Seymour Trust Fund as a charitable beneficiary. So the beauty of that as well is I said we are a 501c3, so anybody that makes a contribution to the trust fund gets an immediate tax benefit for doing so. So that we are a qualified charity, so anybody can give and not have to be concerned about those monies not going back into the community because we have a duty to actually distribute those. And it's been really impactful. We've got our scholarship deadline coming up tomorrow at midnight. So we gift away probably around $450,000 to $500,000 annually in cash. About $371,000 this year is going to local Jackson County scholarships. And then the remainder is just a combination of grants and scholarships out
everywhere
of the area.
else. Gotcha. All right. So regardless of where you're listening to us from, if you're in Southern Indiana or really just anywhere, you can get with Brandon. And what's a good way to reach out to you?
We've got our website, greaterseymourtrustfund.org, and all of our contact information is there, as well as online applications for grants and scholarships. I will say the grants, we do have a special grants process that opens every January. January 15th is the deadline, so anybody can apply beginning typically first of the year. I think we open that up actually December 1st through January 15th, and they can apply for grants. And that just affects the city of Seymour. All the other grants are specific to these funds, and we gift out monies that go to specific charities or to charities that are named by various family members.
All right. Well, thanks so much for being part of Southern Indiana Now. We'll be right back. There's so much stuff going on in and around Southern Indiana. We want to know about it. We know you've got stuff to share. You can, of course, do that on our Facebook page. You can send us an email. All the ways to get connected, you can find at southern.indiana.now.com. And we have some things that we want to make sure you know. Down in Madison, we got the St. Patrick's Party Week. That sounds super fun. March 9th through the 17th at St. Michael. And you can definitely get connected with that. Scott County, ever wanted to snuggle with a baby goat? I mean, yeah. Stop by March 17th and through April 4th for Baby Goat Days at Goat Milk Stuff Farm. So that's something that we all should do. I think I need to do this too. Jackson County, you can check out the Midwest season opener kickoff at the Brownstown Speedway. So lots of fun things happening. You got Sportsdrome Speedway around the corner down in Clarksville, as well as so many other events happening in and around Southern Indiana. So keep it right here at Southern Indiana Now.
Yeah!